But I also watch Victor Wembanyama play, bro. I've seen him settle for a lot of jumpers where I'm like, dude, just like dominates. Like these guys are half their size. So there is a lot of mental, like, I don't know if it's mental or what it is, or his playing style, what he's used to. But there is times where I'm like, dude, for his body, you need to be more like dominant, you know?
Yeah, he's not there yet, and the referees this season they're allowing more physicality, just like the end of last year. But he's not the
Yeah.
only one. It's the league is in a tricky spot because it's like with these international players, especially the French guys, they tend to be a lot smaller. And the league, the more they allow physicality, I think some of the international guys, it's going to be harder for them to translate until they get their strength up. But what's
Yeah.
his name? The first overall pick, Zachary, he actually mentioned that he said in France he was he was one of the most athletic players, and now he's in the NBA. He's just a regular guy.
Yeah.
That's kind of
He's right.
crazy. He's just a regular guy. But again, it's like the league right now, they need the international players to come in and kind of bring a more global audience as they're taking the soccer approach. But at the same time, they don't have any way of marketing these guys. They don't really know how to market them to an American audience that can make these guys cool enough. Because the American audience decides what's cool. Like Anthony Edwards, they decided, hey, that's the cool guy. They can market, quote unquote, the American swag. He has it.
Yeah.
But the international guys don't necessarily have that. But just allowing more physicality kind of stunts their growth. And I see that a lot this season with Wemby. He's gonna have to really hit the gym. He's gonna really have to hit the gym. French
Yeah,
people
he's gonna have
overall,
to get.
they tend to be
Yeah.
a lot thinner.
A lot of European players tend to be a lot thinner. The only one I could really mention is like Jokic and Luka, but they came a little bit chubbier. They came on the chubbier side.
Yeah, they're a lot bigger. But it's funny because Chet Holmgren is thin too, but he likes the bump and grind. He's physical.
Yeah.
He's physical. Chet Holmgren is physical, but Wemby seems like he has more of a finesse game. But again, Chet is American. See,
Yes.
it's a different style. It's a different style. Like this
It's
season,
much more encouraged too in
yeah,
America to be much more physical.
yeah, and it's the internationals, they play with a different flair, way different flair. And this season, we're seeing a draft class that included a lot of French players. A lot of the NBA lottery picks in the first few games, no one has really even averaged 15 points
Yeah.
or even 30 minutes, and some of the players even got DMPs or came off the bench. Like that's kind of crazy. That is kind of crazy. Like the first overall pick, Zachary, he came off the bench the first two games. Reese Shepard
Yes.
for the Houston Rockets came off the bench. Alex Sarr, he's not even logging in 30 minutes. And then another draft pick that the Wizards had, was it Bub Currington?
Bub
Yeah, like he actually,
Carrington.
yeah, he comes off the bench and he actually averages more points than Alex Sarr. Like this is a very strange draft class. Very strange draft
Yeah.
class.
It's a draft class of role players.
Yeah, even like Rob Dillingham and Terrence Shannon Jr., they're getting DMPs. Same thing for the Charlotte Hornets pick, the French kid. He got two
Yeah, not a
DMPs.
lot of confidence in these guys. Who's the Charlotte Hornets pick?
I don't even know how to say his name. Tijon.
Oh, I thought it was Diabetes. The guy Diabetes.
No, the sixth overall pick.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
looking him up.
he has two DMPs. I forgot the
Mm.
Hornets had the sixth overall pick, but he didn't even play.
Yeah.
He didn't even play.
Oh no.
He got DMPs,
Yeah.
and again with the league allowing physicality, I'm wondering if that's gonna affect the international stars coming in, especially from Europe translating. It's not gonna
It's always been a
affect a
problem
lot
for
of the
European players.
Africans. It's not gonna affect the
Yeah.
Africans, I tell you that, especially the guys coming out of what was South Sudan. It's not gonna affect those guys.
No. Well, a lot of them, because of like South Sudan's like problems being a new country and all, a lot of them play in America and then just go South Sudan for the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so they're able to adopt. I've seen Australian players tend to adopt pretty easy. Like, I think LaMelo Ball has adopted pretty well in the physicalness of American basketball. The Europeans have historically been a lot more softer in that regard. Like you look at Pau Gasol, he was regarded as a lot more softer. Um,
Yeah, that they
Obviously, Wembanyama is a little soft right now.
yeah they're
Yeah.
more skill set. They're more skilled.
Yes.
It's like that in soccer. Because I'm seeing a lot of like correlations between the way soccer around the globe is played and the way, because the NBA now is more global. The same things are happening here. It's almost like in Europe, they have the academies to develop the skill, but the guys are not as strong. But you see a lot of the
Yes.
players, especially from the African diaspora, they come in very athletic and strong, but they're lacking a lot of the small skills like the dribbling, post up moves.
Becoming a lot raw.
Yeah, it's like that in
Yeah.
soccer. Like the Africans, they got a lot of flair with the dribbling, but they lack the
Yes.
precision on their shooting and a lot of like the passing and the control of the game. Like they lack a lot
Yes.
of like skill sets, but the physicality they have it all. But the Europeans they have more the skills, the passing, the control, the pace of the game. Like, but it's like the same correlation I'm seeing here in basketball. It's amazing to
Yes.
see.
It's a lot of for the African players. Also, is like I think over time they develop their skills, right? Where like for example, I think Pascal Siakam, you could tell like he really developed his skills once he played for the Toronto G League.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, the league is in a very it's gonna be very interesting these next 10 years because the more internationals come in, you can even look at Luca right now. They don't know how to market these guys. They have no
No.
idea. And Anthony Edwards is like almost the last of the Mohegans.
Yeah.
They know how to promote someone like Anthony Edwards, but everybody else, they do not know how to promote the international players unless they like have the quote unquote American swag. I've even seen Giannis say that. He's like, I can't be the face of the NBA. I don't have American swag. He straight up said that shit in the media.
Yeah.
And it's true. Everybody, the media knows it. They do not know how to market these guys. That's why the
No.
lottery pick, a lot of the lottery picks in this year's draft, it's been crickets. There's been no marketing. They marketed Bronny. They marketed Bronny during the
He
draft.
was the most talked about player,
Yeah.
and he's in the G League himself.
And he doesn't really talk. He doesn't really display personality either. But they knew how to
No.
market him. But the European kid with the accent, they do not know how to market. Even Luca, they don't know how to market Luca. They just let Luca
Luka
be
and
funny.
Jokic got over on their own.
Yeah, they just let Luca be funny on his own.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah, Jokic, his personality has kind of come out, and then they found like little nuances to
Yeah.
everyone likes to laugh at with his horses, and they turned that into a whole thing, which was genius.
Yeah, they're
Which was
able to promote
genius.
one of the biggest movies.
Yeah, so that was genius on them. But Luca, I don't really see. I don't like. I see the marketing, but I don't see it translating. You know what I mean? Like the same way marketing for like Anthony Edwards would translate or Kobe would
No.
translate.
Well, I think being an Adam Sandler movie helps a lot too, man.
Mm-hmm.
People loved him in the Adam Sandler movie.
Mm-hmm. But
I loved him in that movie. Yeah.
but stars like Jason Tatum, the personality is not really there too much. So
They're
it's
trying. I've seen the Netflix documentary they're making. Have you watched it yet? I haven't watched it yet.
no, I haven't watched it yet. I should check it out because I want to see if these guys display more personality.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum, he seems too afraid of getting canceled.
I watched a clip of the Jeff Teague podcast. He does come off as a decently funny guy.
Yeah, but he's too polished.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you can be too polished, and he comes across as like even like him celebrating in the finals when he started screaming. It looked awkward. It looked like it wasn't his personality. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's just something don't come off right. It's almost like the cameras are on. Let me make sure I'm professional. There's too much of
Is he
that.
stealing Kevin Garnett's quotes?
Yeah. Like Anthony Edwards, he sees the cameras on. This dude is being himself. We know that 100%.
Yeah.
We know that. Jason Tatum, the cameras on. It's almost like he puts on the IRS suit and tie. You know what I mean? Like he's straight up about like straight getting to the point, straight about the business. But it's like, hey, buddy, you could let loose a little bit. You could unbutton that tie, man. You're a champion. Let loose, Jason. Tatum let loose.
Yeah.
Like, these guys act like they didn't even win the
But I don't
championship.
think these guys want to let a personality out, bro. Like I said, Jalen Brown, how he responded to Giannis joking with him. It seemed like these guys don't really like putting like a personality out there.
Yeah, maybe. But after all, they are in Boston, so who knows what's
Yeah.
going on over there.
But Larry Bird had personality in Boston. Same with Bill Russell, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett. Those guys.
Yeah, they did. You're right. They did. But
They had a lot of personality.
Tatum, well, Jalen Brown, low key, he's super smart. I'm not saying
No, he's a genius.
I'm not saying that doesn't translate into personality. Sometimes
It makes you a lot more reserved.
yeah, not like they pay attention a lot more to what's going on around them. So,
Yes.
but Jalen Brown, super gifted. That's a super gifted person,
I think that
man.
was one of his knacks on the draft night. That was one of their fears that he's too smart. It's kind of ridiculous,
Yeah, it's
but
kind of
it was
ridiculous.
kind of
How come they didn't
yeah.
say? How come they didn't say Jean Morant? He's too dumb. How come we never hear the too dumb part?
Yeah, I think they just want to give the idea of like this guy could possibly leave the NBA because he's too smart or whatever bullshit. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
It's
but
just very dishonest.
yeah, and it's like, what job is he ever gonna get that's gonna give him $300 million in
Yeah,
like
it's not like he's
in like
moving to
5
NASA or
years?
something, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no intellectual genius job that's gonna pay you that much money.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of ridiculous. I'm like,
Yeah,
all right, so
unless
like Zion stupid for like getting his stripper pregnant. Paul George, he's gotten like what, one or two stripper pregnants.
yeah,
Like, what
it's
are we
like
doing here?
yeah, it's like you know what I mean, like yeah,
Yeah.
like, oh, he's gonna leave the NBA. He's too smart. What is he gonna do? Like invent like a algorithm to pick stocks? That's the only way he can make the NBA money. If he
Exactly,
invents some
bro.
sort of algorithm in Wall Street, like a new software to pick the stocks, and it just picks it properly, and then the money doubles up. That's the only way. Like, his genius is not gonna get him paid like the NBA.
Yeah.
Like, so to make statements like that is kind of ridiculous. It's very ridiculous.